And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. Friday, my kids are out of school. They'll be up soon. Get on my nerves. I'm playing. I'm playing. When can they hear me now? Probably not. I'm sure they stayed up late last night doing whatever. Uh, as they start their spring break next week, and they spend some time out of the house with their mother, and then I get some things done, and then we do some other stuff, whatever. Got some things planned, so hopefully we'll enjoy that. For those of you in the United States and around the world, if you are in that part of the time of year, go ahead and enjoy the springtime and stuff like that. Uh, I forgot all about the NCAA March Madness, which, man, they fucking ruined my sports, man. Between the propaganda messages, the no fans being in the stands, they just ruined sports for me, man. Didn't think that was possible. I should have known it was possible though. March Madness, man. I love this time of year. I love watching college basketball. I used to sit in my room when I was a kid and just watch all college basketball. Anytime when ESPN first started introducing like Big Monday, Super Tuesday, stuff like that, just sit and watch basketball from like 8 to midnight. Just sitting there watching college basketball, the fundamentals, learning the games. Oh man, I love that so much. I never forget those moments, man. I used to be so happy watching Duke versus North Carolina. North Carolina was my team growing up, and then and Florida was my team in college football. But then I started like college basketball too. The teams when they were winning, when they had Joakim Noah. And oh my god, man! Ah, oh, I loved it. I loved that college basketball atmosphere and everything. And now playing the game in the goddamn bubble. But whatever, I might check in. I filled out a bracket because still got to fill out a bracket. Never gonna win, but you never know. And I'm sure I'll watch some highlights, stuff like that. I got some things planned for the weekend, and I'm gonna do a Justice League review. Like I said before, I don't know if I'm gonna do it podcast video version. I'm shooting for a video version, and I want to at least have it done by Sunday so I can upload it. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Me and my son, probably my daughter too, depending on how she feels if she wants to watch it. We're gonna sit down and watch the Snyder Cut, 4 hours of it. If they can manage to watch something for 4 hours straight, who knows? They probably won't. But I definitely will be and taking my notes and have that presented to my channel, adding more content. You always gotta have content upon content upon content. And, back catalog too, so people can go back and look at all your stuff and wherever the case may be, because news cycles, somebody might not know anything about something until a week or a month later, and then it's like, oh man, this content or this guy was talking about this months ago and stuff. Now just now hearing about it, whatever. He has that stuff, so definitely be doing that, and yeah, hopefully good weather, good beach weather. We get out of the house and enjoy the sun, because we live in Florida. I should have said that. I'm not. I can't. I shouldn't mock everybody else, who doesn't live in Florida, or you can't get out the house and whatever the case may be. It sucks. It sucks. But don't worry, you got somebody like me and tons of people on the internet who's looking at the government and saying "fuck you" and calling them out for the bullshit that they do. As I wait on my stimulus checks, not check, my stimulus checks that I'm sure will never come because let's be honest, I talk too much shit about the government. How can I expect them to give me the money that they owe to me? Or I don't even know. I don't even know. I don't even know. The money that they deny me from having because all the shutdowns and stuff like that. Whatever. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? All right, that's enough of my little short, brief intro. Go ahead and get into today's topics. So I don't even know how to go with this one. Like, there's so many different ways I can take this. There's an article from National Post that's shared on MSN's website. It says BC father, which is I believe British Columbia. It's a Canadian father, a Canadian citizen rather. It says BC father arrested, held in jail for repeatedly violating court orders over child's gender transition therapy. And so this came out yesterday, uh, on the 18th of March. I was gonna talk about this. I didn't really have no too much opinion on it, but then I just I kept seeing stuff, and I was like, oh man, it kept getting in my head. I was like, oh, and then I watched the video on YouTube, High Roots TV. Shout out to them, and it just man, once I heard the story, I was like, oh god, I knew it, I knew it, I knew it. I was getting pissed off, but I'm not gonna go in the I'm not gonna take the perspective of which some might think, like as far as parents, and kids, as far as kids transitioning and stuff like that at a young age during puberty, which I already spoken about. I don't agree with that at all. I don't agree with it from any perspective. Which it doesn't matter. Kid can't drive a car, but he can decide to go through hormonal therapy treatment, literally changing their hormones, affecting the biology, all this different stuff that will will cause health problems down the line. I don't think people think about that sometimes, that when you affect your body, there's potential long-term side effects. Hell, you eat too much McDonald's, you see what's going to happen to you. Like you eat it too much repeatedly, just you got to be careful what you do to your body. Or at least I mean, outside of, like I said before, growing your own food and stuff. I mean, try to eat organic, try to eat non-GMOs, but outside of growing your own food, you can never really trust anything you buy because you didn't make the shit. Which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So it says a BC father who objects to his teenage child's gender transition therapy was arrested on Tuesday and put in jail until at least Friday for repeatedly speaking publicly about aspects of the case. So they're taking the angle that he wasn't supposed to speak about it. It says a father known as CD has been charged with criminal contempt for allegedly violating court orders and is being held in custody until a bail hearing on Friday. The criminal charge is one that, if found guilty, could see him spend as much as 5 years behind bars. So that'll probably be the maximum. He probably wouldn't spend that much behind bar in jail, prison, anyways. Which you kind of wonder, it's kind of fucked up, right? I mean, you would think that he's abusing the kid physically, something like that. Maybe child neglect. Now, it says the case stems from CD's battle to prevent his child, AB, as the child is known, from receiving gender transition hormone therapy. God forbid a parent thinks their child shouldn't go through something. God forbid that I don't know, you try to raise your kids the best way possible. Now, is your way possible the correct way? Nah. But guess what? When we're talking about raising kids, there's multiple ways to raise kids, bro. You might not agree with everybody's parenting, but it's interesting because the contradiction of this all, if they were in support of changing their child's transgender, some of these celebrity kids, I think I mentioned before, like a Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union with their child, people would come out and then show support. Oh, that's so great, stuff like that. But if you say, nah, no, I don't think that's good for my child, and I don't think that's best for my child and my family, then all of a sudden you're a bad parent, even though both parents have the same intentions in mind, doing what they think is best for the child, whether they agree with the child or not. But guess what I'm saying? Child. The child that can't legally work until 16 in most places around the world, if not younger, whatever. Can't drive a car, especially you're talking about United States of America. You can't vote until you're 18. Can't drink alcohol until you're 21. Can't smoke a cigarette until you're 18. Can't join the military until 17 at the earliest. You have to be graduated from college and have a waiver signed by your guardian. You can't even get married. Trust me, I got married at 19. My ex-wife was 17. It's crazy, right? Sounds insane. Probably is, but whatever. But her parents had to sign off on it. Like what are we talking about here, man? What are we talking about? And you probably think that's probably why your marriage didn't last because you got married. Like, no, my marriage didn't last because, well, some people make their choices, and some people live with the consequences of those choices. Called being an adult. There you go. That's it. It's that simple. It's that simple. Whatever. Leave that for another topic. I just don't even want to touch on that. But this bothers me because the court, the state, the government being involved in a parent's ability to raise their kid. I get and I can understand when we're talking about neglect and abuse, but that's in the sense of a mediator outside party because, it takes a village to raise a kid type of situation coming in and stuff. But you're worried about the actual physical, emotional well being of a child. In this case, it's the same thing. You worry about the physical and actual well being of the child, but not in the eyes of the court because the court is forcing this. Going through hormone therapy at a young age and stuff, going through hormone therapy in general is rough on the body. Puberty is rough on the body, and that's a natural thing. Or can I say that anymore? Fuck it. It's a natural, biological, occurring event that happens in every human being, right? It happens. Happens in other species as well, going through puberty. You already got to look down at your nutsack and be like, oh my God, where does hair come from? Right? As we was watching Superman, the Justice League movie last night, the theatrical version, me and my son, Superman had his no shirt on. My son's like, God, is that what I'm gonna have too, Dad? A lot of hair on my chest? Like, what's the point of having hair on your chest? I'm like, I don't know, guy. I ain't really got hair on my chest, but like that. But yeah, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have some hair on your chest, man. Hopefully, it's not too much. If it is, you'll figure it out. I don't know what to tell you. Like that's the thing. Like they have to question their own natural occurrence in puberty, and you're talking about having hormone therapy. But once again, I'm gonna stick to the perspective of why is the government involved. So it says, but what began as a family court dispute has now wound up in criminal charges due to allegations that CD is persistent in violating court orders. The orders instruct him not to make public any information that will identify AB or the medical professionals involved to call AB by the child's preferred name and gender pronoun, and not to share his opinions on the case publicly. So he was ordered by the court to not speak about his own goddamn child. This is not a criminal case. This is a family court dispute, and he was ordered by a judge not to talk about his own damn child. You tell me the government can tell you not to talk about your own child, and we're not talking about a criminal investigation, an ongoing criminal investigation, nothing like that. No one finds that kind of odd. No one finds that kind of totalitarian, authoritarian. Nope. I do. I mean, it screams it. Imagine being told that you cannot tell your child that you watch come out the womb, that you seen raised, that you have to wipe their ass, that you have to wipe around their little nutsack, right? You had to clean out their vagina and stuff. You had to do all these things, and then because the child all of a sudden says, "Oh, I'm a boy instead of being a girl," and you're like, "No, no, no. I I watched you come out the womb. I seen the body parts you have. What are you talking about?" And you got preferred to them by a name that they want to be called, and you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I gave you that name. Like I get it if you want to change your name, but also you can, I don't know, become an adult as well. You get out of my house. You can pay your own bills, pay your own taxes, do whatever you got to do as every other functioning adult in America or in the world, in modern society." But no, they're okay with this. They're okay with this. It says British Columbia Court of Appeal laid out the court order CD was to abide by in January 2020. Since then, the BC Prosecution Service alleges he has failed to do so on multiple occasions. In June 2020, CD gave an interview to a YouTube channel where he's alleged to have identified healthcare providers, revealed information about AB's mental health, medical status, or treatments, and gave out information that could reveal CD, AB, and the mother's identity. These goddamn CB, these goddamn little acronym things they want to use to hide and disguise someone's name. Said he was charged with contempt of court, and that matter will come before the court in April. It's insane, man. Let's see. The case has become emblematic of the complex ethical and legal issues that arise in gender dysphoria cases, including who gets to make their own medical decisions, what role parents have to play, and what age young people are able to make these life-changing decisions. Young people, children. You see how they pay attention to verbiage. See how they phrase that? At what age young people? You mean at what age children? Because we're talking about a child, talking about a minor, that you can't say that child's name publicly, but at the same time, that child can make a decision to change their gender, even though you can't change your gender, but whatever. To go through these hormone treatment therapies, like if hey, you do what you want to do in your household. If that's what you and your kid agree to. That's okay. That's I'm not knocking that. I don't agree with that shit, but by all means, don't get it twisted. I don't agree with it. You have instances of Dwayne Wade and his family, or other celebrities or other parents, whatever. They want to do that in their household. That's okay. I don't agree with it, but that's not my business. Hey, you do that shit in your household. I'll do my shit in my household. That's not what we do in the Jackson's residence. Sorry, that's not what we do over here. I don't want to tell you. But if you want to do that, that's okay. My kids can still be friends with your kid. I can still be friends with you. Just know, if you ever, that topic ever comes up, and you think I'm gonna agree with you, I'm gonna let you know right off the bat as we in our conversation. We can be friends and everything. I'm still gonna let you know I don't agree with you. You keep that shit over there. I do this with everyone close to me. Like, okay, yeah, I get what you're saying. And I'm like, I'm listening, I'm listening. But at some point in time, make it known, hey, I don't agree with that. So you keep that shit over there. I keep my shit over here, bro. And we can still love each other and go on happy, be friends, family members, all this stuff. But just so you know, not in this house. Me and my own kids, like for the most part, we're in agreement with a lot of things. Because we always constantly talk to each other. We have a really close relationship. You can tell by the conversation in which I present to y'all. We have a really close relationship, me and my kids. So we talk about all these different things, and I engage in conversation with them. They engage in conversation with me. So we talk about all these different topics as well. And we're pretty much on the same page. But if they ever decide to act differently or think differently or whatever, that's okay too. But they talk about, hey, I want to change this and that. I'm like, all right, cool. I get that. You get out, you become an adult and you can think about this stuff because, man, when you're a child, a lot of thoughts go through your head. Like I said, I want to be a monkey. My son told me the other day he wanted to be a monkey. Like, like I think it's cool, bro. Like, just it seems like it'll be fun. Clearly, he's just talking. He's like, I'm just talking. I was like, I know you're just talking. That's so was I at that age. We're just talking, man. You don't know what you don't even, most of y'all don't even know what the fuck you want to do in your life as a career choice. Right? Like, you gotta think about it. Put it in context, man. A lot of correspondence. Like, most people don't even know what they want to do in their life as a career choice and how they want to make money to survive in the modern world. They don't even know. Most people don't even know what type of person they want to end up dating. But here they are, like, at a young age, trying to figure out what sex or gender they're gonna be. You haven't even went through puberty yet. At least, I don't know, live a few more years as an actual adult male or adult female. See how you like your voice. I don't know. Maybe you like your boob size. I don't know. Like, at least experiment that. Shit, should I even call it experiment? I don't even know what they even say about it anymore. But to have the court come in and be like, oh, you know what? This child wants to do this, so who are you to say something? Oh, I'm sorry. Well, my fault. Thought I was a parent. I guess so. Because to me, that kind of leeways into letting you know that you as a parent has no actual say so in your child's life. But like, what more? To me, that is like one of the only real authority level that you can have in another person's life is the parent-child relationship because that's so unique. There's nothing else like that. There's nothing else like the parent-child relationship. There's nothing else like that. And I'm not even talking about just at a biological means. I'm just even in adoptions, stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Stepchildren doesn't matter. There's nothing unique. There's nothing like that's a unique relationship, a dynamic to have, parent, child, because the child is saying, "Hey, I don't know what I'm doing in my life. I clearly have no idea what's going on. I need help." So they're relinquishing some of their responsibilities or their rather their own ability to govern themselves, to have control and power over their own life. They're giving it up because they admit that, hey, I don't know what's going on. I was telling my kids, like, I'm raising y'all to be on your own, be independent, make your own rules, but clearly right now, you guys you don't know what to do yet. And it's like, yeah, I don't know what to do. And they asked me, hey, can you open up this juice? Like, you understand? Like, but kids ask, can they help open up the juice? They struggle to open up the Listerine, not Listerine, the goddamn product branding, uh, mouthwash. They struggle to open the mouthwash bottle. I mean, the shit says child safety proof, child lock proof, or whatever for a reason, man. But yet we're allowing kids to go that way. And the thing is, parents are trying to say, hey, this is what I want to do for my child in the best interest of my child, and it's good intentions. Understand, it's good intentions. Like I said, if you want your child to be that and allow sex change, that's fine too. That's you have good intentions and you go about that and y'all make that decision together. I don't agree with it, but don't get mad at me because I don't agree with it. Sorry. I don't think I don't think that's a okay thing to do, but that's okay if you want to do it in your family. Once again, you keep that shit over there. I'll keep the show here. We could be friends, family members. We could be close as hell. Everybody, all of us can hang out and stuff. But just so you know, this is where I stand on that issue. Don't try to persuade me. Don't try to convince me nothing of the case. It is what it is. Yet you can't have that same dynamic relationship with the government. The government is coming into these people's homes and telling them that, hey, you're wrong. That child could do whatever they want to do. And it's like, who the fuck are you, government? I'm sorry. Who are you, court? I thought I was the parent. And that's what's just really scary about all this because, well, I don't want to say scary, but really is concerning about all this because what we're talking about here is the government coming in and overstepping its boundaries and pushing its own agenda and its own power and influence over a parent's ability to raise their children in the best way that they can. That is real concerning. They're letting you know that you do not own your children. And guess what that comes under? Marxism, communism. When it comes under the government owns stuff. Remember, in Marxism, you're not allowed to pass on your money, your wealth, or whatever to the next of kin. What's the like? How can you create generational wealth if you can't pass on the wealth to your kids? What's the point of you working your life off and doing everything to set up your family, your kids, and you can't pass nothing on to them? That's Marxism. That's communism, socialism. All that stuff goes back to one centralization controlling everything, and you giving up all personal accountability, all personal rights, all that stuff, all private ownership. If you have no ownership or I don't want to say ownership, if you don't have no the ability to raise your children the way that you see fit because the government says no, that's the problem. Once again, we're not talking about child neglect. We're not talking about child abuse, stuff like that. Obviously, you infringing on a person's rights and your child's rights, and you're messing up their ability to have to live. That's one thing. You can argue that having your child go through hormone therapy and stuff is a little bad too. You can even argue that. I'm not for that because I think the parents have the right. You should have the right to raise your kids the way you want to. Once again, I just don't agree with it. I just don't agree with it. Well, you want to do that, you do that. Just don't get mad at me because I don't want to do that. But this is really concerning because this is really about the government stepping in, trying to set precedents. Because if we could control and we could set precedents showing that we control what goes on in an individual's household and how they raise their kids, are they your kids anymore or does the government own your kids? Because it sounds like the government owns your kids, and the government is telling you how to raise your kids. And you know they're doing it in Canada. It's only a matter of, I'm sure it's happening somewhere in America as well. Definitely in other places around the world. It says while doctor and families usually work together to come to consensus on treatment plans. What the fuck? Doctors and family work together. I'll listen to what you say, doc. But I'm the ultimate decision over here because I'm the one that has to deal with all this, right? No one thinks about what happens while our kids going through hormone therapy, and they're also going through puberty at the same time, and all types of stuff. And you don't think that's going to cause some type of mental illness? Just people think mental illness is you have to have some type of uh, uh, effect or physical effect happen to you. No, it can be a chemical imbalance. Chemical imbalance, bam, depression. Chemical imbalance, bam, personality disorders. That's all it takes. Chemical imbalance. That's it. It could be pushed on by, or it could be created by some type of physical stimulant, but still, they don't even need that. Be emotional chemicals in your brain. Let's see. This case has wound his way through the courts, pitting parents and child against one another. CD ejects the AB, who was assigned female at birth. Oh my god, was assigned female at birth. You know why they were assigned female at birth? Because it came out, they had a vagina. No one talks about hermaphrodites. Like that's the actual. When you're talking about the spectrum, universal law of polarity, then universal law of rhythm, going from one end of the spectrum to the other spectrum, duality, two opposite ends. Well, you have male and female. Guess we have in the middle? Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite. Uh, you know what? I always like to say, you know what? You know what? I hit that. You know what? We gonna look this shit up. Her math. I'm about to spell this all wrong. Hermaphroditical meaning. So, hermaphrodite from Merriam-Webster Dictionary is an animal or plant having both male and female reproductive organ structures or tissue. An organism exhibiting hermaphroditic, possessing both male and female reproductive organs, structures, or tissue. I understand that. Both. 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 An individual in which both male and female reproductive organs are present, or in which the chromosomal patterns do not fall under typical definitions of male and female. So as we talk about transitioning from male to female and all this stuff, like there actual is a scientific definition of someone that is in the middle and has both organs. Yet we don't talk about this. Hell, if you do talk about it, it's usually in the sense of, well, sex, pornography. To be honest, I heard about it when I was a kid because of pornography. Actually, probably in science class too. Let's see what it says on Wikipedia where they have it in humans. A hermaphrodite is used in older literature to describe any person whose physical characteristics does not neatly fit male or female classifications, but some people advocate to replace the term with intersex. Intersex is whatever. Clinically, medicine currently describes intersex people as having disorders of sex development, a term vigorously contested. This is particularly because of a relationship between medical terminology and medical intervention, blah, blah, intersex, blah, blah. You know, some people who are intersex, such as some of those with androgen insensitivity syndrome, outwardly appear completely female or male, frequently without realizing they are intersex. Others kind of intersex conditions are identified immediately at birth because those with the condition have a sexual organ larger than a clitoris and smaller than a penis. And that's what it is. They can have the internal sexual organs of a female, but the outside sexual organs, the clitoris, be too big. And it looks like a penis, or it looks like they're gonna have a small penis and they turn it into a clitoris, and then you make that male of, or that hermaphrodite that intersex a female. Does anybody know that? No, does anybody know that? No, does anybody ever talk about that? Because as you hear all the stuff about transgender, no one talks about hermaphrodites, which is a thing that happens in biology, which is a thing that happens in science, which is medically documented. No one talks about that. Why is that? Like, how many of them are there? Are out there? Like, how many? Let's see what it says. On fertilization on its blah blah. Fetuses before sexual differentiation are sometimes described as females by doctors explaining the process. This is technically not true. Before this stage, humans are simply under whatever. He's talking about in the womb and stuff. But I think I've been meaning to talk about. I don't know if I said it before or not. I'm starting to forget some things. Oh man, we're going down a weird road. We're going down a weird road, but whatever. This is newhealthadvisory.org. So it says hermaphrodite human pictures. So would I get in trouble for showing this? Trouble by who? Exactly. Fuck it. So even on this, you got pictures of hermaphrodites. You can see. You can see. Let's see. It says famous hermaphrodite people. Most of them went through surgery. Hermaphrodite human pictures are shown above. Some famous people have been hermaphrodites, but hermaphrodite human people for them are not available. Here are 10 of them that you might recognize. Maddie Blostein, a voice actor in several video games, including Sonic the Hedgehog, Pokemon, and the founder of the popular Second Life. Oh, wow. Can I click? Is that a hyperlink? No, it's not a hyperlink. Lisa Lee Dark, a Welsh actress and voice performer. She was raised as a boy because doctors didn't realize she was biologically female. Sent to an all-boys school and was badly bullied because she didn't act the way a boy was expected to act. And you would think that it would go along the terms when we talk about pushing a transgender agenda, that this would be brought up a lot more often. But the thing is not. Because if people actually understood that hermaphrodites happen in plant, animal, and human species, then you'd be like, well, unless you're a hermaphrodite, you can't be talking about transition or anything. And see, this is something I learned while I was a kid. I think I watched a documentary somewhere about it and stuff. And then I probably looked up something on the internet as well in a non-sexualized way because I was just curious. I was like, oh wow, never heard of this before. So when I think of transgender, my first thought is actually a hermaphrodite. Because when people talk about their kids or themselves want to transition, I'm thinking, oh, maybe is this why? But this is not why. But this is really what we should be talking about here. This is what we should be talking about. But we're not. Why is that? And see, that's what bothers me when I feel like it's not organic, when it's manufactured. Let's see, it says Olika Lich, Sarah Gronart. This retired tennis player won a total of 10 titles. She was born with both male and female genitalia. Male and female genitalia. Let's see if I can even search this person. Going somewhere I didn't think I was going to go. It says, upon surgery at the age of 19, she is now considered physically and biologically to be a woman. Because you can affect that. Because she has both organs. Let's see what she look like. Oh, come on, man. You can't even get a distinct picture of who this person is. Is this it? Is this no? Can't. I don't know. Can't ever just get a distinct picture. I know I don't have Facebook, so oh no, that's not gonna pop up. That's not gonna pop up. It's funny how it's a famous tennis player, yet you're like, okay, where's the famous tennis player at? Why is there no pictures? Wait a minute. I copied and paste. Okay. So I just forgot the T. Oh, what a, what a genius this guy is. Can't even copy and paste correctly. Oh my god. So this is her. This is her. Looks like a female, right? And to be honest with you, wouldn't notice difference. Female. So why is this not acceptable? Why or not acceptable? Why is this not talked about? Why is it not talked about? Why is she not talked about? This retired tennis player won a total of 10 titles. She was born with both male and female genitalia. Male and female genitalia. Why is that not talked about? Why no one mentions that as transitioning or anything? Why? Because it's exactly what we should be talking about. Instead of more or less talking about transgender people who trying to biologically be something they're not. She was born intersex with both male and female genitalia. She had surgery at age 19, blah, blah. Why? Why? Where is she at? Is she standing up for transgender rights? She's probably like looking at everybody like, oh, y'all think y'all transgender? Actually, I am because I literally had to pick which sex I am. So actually, when you have certain transgender things being talked about, I can't believe I even went down this road. But when you actually want to talk about transitioning and stuff like that, she literally had to decide because she had both. Where is hermaphrodite lives matters? That's what I meant to do. That's what I've been meaning to do. That's what I'm advocating for. I'm advocating hermaphrodite lives matter. I think I said that before and I forgot all about it. Now I remember. Now I remember. Why? Why? Because why not? Because why not? But no, that nobody cares because it's not about. What I'm telling you guys, it's not about actually paying attention to an issue and actually breaking it down and really thinking about it. It's all just pandering emotions. It's literally that. It's all pandering emotions, and it's an attempt to really just mess with people's minds. That's it. Mess up the family structure. And once again, you can have two of the same sex. I'm gonna stop saying people are gay. It's same sex. I'm not calling nobody gay no more. You same sex, same sex, same sex. Oh, you like same sex? Oh, you like same sex relationships? You like same sex relationships? Because gay is used in the wrong sense. Lesbian, they just made up out of nowhere. We just making up words. No, same sex is exactly what it is. Same sex relationships. That's what it is. SSR. You have a SSR? What's the SSR? The same sex relationship. I'm coining this shit now, man. Right? Even though it's such a simple term, doesn't matter. I'm just coining it now. Coining it now. I'm taking it as my own. Same sex relationships, hermaphrodite lives matter. Shut the fuck up. That's what I'm starting. That's what I'm starting. I just want everybody to know that I started it. Damian Jackson started it. Hermaphrodite lives matter. I'm gonna fuck my kid's head over when I tell them about this though. Wait, who else is on here? So Ian Moreland, a musician, music technologist. I don't know what that is. D. Palmer, the keyboardist, a visual artist, a world champion South African distance runner, Caster Sema. Uh, Caroline Cozy, once a Bond girl in the James Bond film. She was raised as a male but had a female appearance at the age of 17. So that's what it is. You physically might look like this on the outside and everything, but you have male genitalia and stuff like that. But you look like a female. You have both going on. Like these are actual terms. They have to usually decide which one they're gonna be with. And they literally have the right to actually be out there, be both, because that's literally biologically, scientifically what they are both with both genitalia, both sexual organs, both sexual organs, both sexual organs, a male and female. There you go, balance or balance in the middle of the spectrum. Your third option. That's your third option. Hermaphrodites is your third option, yet no one talks about that. Let me get off, man. I went on a rant about that, and I must have been saving that up. I think I've been saving that up, and then I found the right time to just bring it in there. So nice little, not want to say transition, but nice little interjection for me. But to go back to this article, I can't believe this shit is. This is bad, man. This is bad. It says the last paragraph of the article says this order should not restrict CD's right to express his opinion in his private communications with family, close friends, and close advisors, provided none of these individuals is part of or connected with the media or any public forum, and provided CD obtain assurances from those with whom he shares information or views that they will not share that information with others, the court said. Because the court court orders telling the father couldn't talk about it. So they're making the parents force the child, or they're making the parents go along with the child gender transition, hormone therapy, and they tell the parent to shut the fuck up about it. Like I don't. It doesn't get no more authoritarian than that. It doesn't. However, does not necessarily follow that such conduct equates to the kind of psychological or emotional abuse that would constitute family violence under family law. And that's what I said. It's not about violence. It's not about anything like that. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, child neglect, none of that stuff. They're being good parents, paying attention to their kids, listening, and saying, "Hey, I get what you're saying, but hold off on that." Does it really talk? Because when I was listening to this on High Roots TV, the article they read said something about the school counselor was involved. I know this kind of just is saying that medical teams are involved and stuff like that, but there's probably more to it. This protection order, blah blah. Case with parties. Okay, so no, I don't see nothing, but I'm kind of skimming over this too. But yeah, my whole take on this really was just why is the government involved? These parents trying to be good parents. They care about their children's lives enough to the fact that they're saying, hey, we're just questioning this, and we looked up some stuff, and we don't really agree with this. We care about how we raise our kids. And I'm not gonna say whether they're great parents or bad parents. I don't know them personally, but off their choice making, their intentions, like, well, we're paying enough attention to say, hey, we have a say so in this, and this is what we think. I think that's an odd thing to say. Who was assigned female at birth? Like, unless you're a hermaphrodite, if you come out with one sexual organ, guess what? That's what you are, because we have the third option, which is hermaphrodite. Now, if all these kids that want to transition and all these people that want to transition, if they are all hermaphrodites, that'll be different. The reason why you don't hear about that, because that will wake people up to see, wait a minute, you can actually have both? Then what the fuck are we talking about transitioning? So there are just two genders. Because you can have two genders and you can be both. And the both is just a combination of exactly what it sounds like. Both genders. Oh my God. What are you doing? Stop making too much sense. You're right. I got to. I have to stop doing this. I have to stop making too much sense. Because the shit does. I'm in the wrong world. I'm in the wrong universe. I'm in the wrong timeline. Because apparently this timeline is not about making sense. It's about emotions and pandering and the appearance of moral superiority. That's what this is about. It's not. I'm in a timeline. I'm in a reality where it's not about logic. Logic doesn't exist around here. I'm making too much sense. I need to stop. I need to stop because I'm getting in the habit of making too much sense that at some point in time, when it become against the law to make sense, to critical think, man, I'm gonna be the first one in prison. I make too much sense. That sounds like some narcissistic thing to say, right? All right. On to the next topic. I didn't even bother to transition. I just said on to the next topic. I know we was talking about I was trying to do a show Thursday, so I know we was talking about on Wednesday the whole Robert Long, whatever his name, I think his name is Robert Long, and reading actually a notification from my phone from Business Insider talking about how it's about sex addiction, and this would he killed 8 people, 5, 6 of them being Asian, the other ones being I'm assuming white or something like that. We're just gonna skip over the sex addiction. We're gonna skip over the possible legal brothels that's going on, sex services stuff, which by all means I think should be legal anyways. I don't know if that'll help crack down on human trafficking for our sex slaves, but it's I don't think it's gonna make it worse either. Because it's already happened. I mean, we can go with the sex trade, human trafficking perspective of this case, but nah. Told you guys it's gonna happen. I already seen some things when they kept saying Asian, Asian. I was like, they're setting it up. Everybody's setting up this narrative. This is what's gonna happen, and this is what is happening. We have an article here from ABC Action News. Asian Americans in Tampa Bay. This is local for me. Speak up against hate crimes. 122 anti-Asian hate crimes committed over the past year. 122 anti-Asian hate crimes. And you're probably thinking, you never heard of that shit a day in your life. Especially talking about being in America. But I mean, let's see. How many actual Asian American? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Wikipedia popped up because Siri is paying attention to me. 18 million, 18.2 million, 18.2 million, 18.2 million. I'm gonna say it again over and over because I don't think people understand sometimes. I have to say it over and over for myself to put it in context. 18.2 million. And then of course what pops up all this, we're not standing for violence, anti-Asian violence in America, blah blah. So quick math. This is from World Population Review. The Asian American population in the United States is estimated to be approximately 20 million. 20 million. Okay, so we're gonna go with that. We're gonna go with that. 20 million. 20 million. Simple math. 122, because that's the number of anti-Asian hate crimes, right? Anti-Asian hate crime cases, right? So 122 divided by 20 million. And I just fucked that up. I'm doing on my calculator, which I'm definitely not showing. Because I had to change everything. I had to flip stuff around just to show that. But anyways, get to the webpage though. So quick math, do your own research, do your own math. 122 divided by 20 million. We get a percentage, times that by 100. You get 0.00061% chance of anti-Asian American hate crimes. You tell me whether or not that's an issue. You tell me whether or not that's an issue. You tell me. You tell me. If you have a 0.00061% chance, if you're an Asian American, which I hate the term Asian American, why not say Taiwanese American, Hong Kong American, China American, Chinese American, Korean American, Indian American, Vietnamese American, something. Be more specific. They don't want to be specific. They want to bunch everybody into a category. How degrading is that? Say, oh, there's 20 million Asian Americans, and your first thought should be, what the fuck? How do you know? Like, how do you know? Because someone said that they were? Let's say on the CDC, not CDC, the census that came out, stuff, me and my kids are other. Now what, bitch? We ain't got no race. Other. Every time, other. Every time they ask for everything, other. The most you'll get out of me is male or female. But outside of that, other. What race? Other. What ethnicity? Other. What religion? Other. And I'm not going to say what the fuck other is. It's just other. Because, man, it's so stupid. It get on my nerves, that stuff. But that's, once again, for context, 122 anti-Asian hate crimes committed over the past year out of 20 million people. See, why would you say that out of 20 million? Maybe it'll say in the rest of the article. Maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt first. Although we know where it's going to go, but still, maybe I should give them the benefit of the doubt. It says we're still learning more about Tuesday deadly shootings at 3 spas in Atlanta. Because why go to 3 separate spas to kill a total of 8 people? Blows my mind. But to me, it's a lot of gas. It's actually not an efficient way to kill people. I probably shouldn't even say it that way, but I'm just from a tactical standpoint, doesn't seem that too efficient. It's better doing it in one place. That way you can go out. If you do two other places, you ain't doing nothing but increasing the chances of you being caught because now your face is being seen more. You see how easily it is to think these things out? They're such a psychopath and they're so emotionally unstable that they just go off and do these things, but yet they don't really have a plan. If you're, but I guess he's a sex addict, so like whatever. But I guess the ultimate excuse for everything is, well, they're just crazy. That's a cop out. You just say somebody's crazy. That's a cop out. You should be focusing on this, which really we should be focusing on this. But again, they're not gonna focus on it because we focus on it. We probably find some stuff that we don't want to find out to know that hey, these people ain't really actually crazy. But maybe somebody's been influencing them and pushing them thoughts into their head. And when I say somebody, I'm not talking about friend or family members or somebody trying to radicalize them. I'm talking about your some form of government institution or some association to a government institution. Like a public mental health clinic. Oops, shouldn't have said that either. I'm just throwing it out there. But don't worry, it's a crazy conspiracy theory. But at least somebody's fucking thinking. I'd rather have a thought that's wrong than not think at all. I'd rather be wrong than not to think at all. Because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Don't bother me none. I dare to think differently. Oh my god, I gotta put that on a shirt. I gotta write this shit down. I dare to think differently. I gotta put it on a shirt. I gotta put it on a shirt. Dare to think differently. I dare to think differently. I dare to think differently. Hermaphrodite lives matter. I gotta remember those two things. I will write it down, but because I decided not to pick up my pen and put it here on my computer desk, and I left it over there on the couch, I was like, I don't need this right now. That's where I fucked up at. Simple mistakes, and I knew I was gonna need a pen. Let's see. ABC Action News in depth. Okay, no, it's talking about something else. So ABC Action News in-depth reporter Anthony Hill is speaking with one of the leaders of the Asian American community. They're killing one of the leaders. Oh, bro, you're not my leader, bro. It's like the leader of the black community. Leader of who? I don't know who the fuck this guy is. How's this guy, this girl, whatever? How you a leader of who? I didn't know I was following you. I don't know the fuck you are to follow you. Who are you to tell me that you lead me? In fact, who is anybody to say that they lead me? This is your leader. Whoa. No. I don't know this guy. He can't be a leader. That's so degrading. That's so degrading. Once again, to the individual. The smallest minority that is in the human species, the individual. As I care about my individuality, and thus I care about your individuality. What's besides that? When something happened, I'm like, oh, what did you do? Why did you do that? Why did that happen to you? Same thing. I ask myself those questions. Hey, there could be some outside concerning factors, stuff like that. Yeah, but okay, what could I do? What could I have done? What could I do differently? Me, because that's where I gotta focus at, because that's the only thing I can actually control. Says after Tuesday's shootings, an increase in hate crimes against Asian Americans, Pacific Islanders. What the fuck? So are Pacific Islanders part of Asian Americans? Do they make up that 20 million approximation and population number? Or are they separate? Many people in these communities go to the island Pacific and tell them they're a Pacific Islander. See what happens. See what happens. They're gonna look at you like you stupid. Like what you just call me? Pacific Islander. Like you dumbass American. Like Pacific Islander. Man, I'm Chamorro. I'm from Chamorro. I'm Chamorro. I'm from this place. I'm this. Me and my family come from this tribe. That's what it is. Or at least Samoans or whatever. See how they just group everybody together? Once again, degrading. It says many people in these communities feel a sense of anxiety concerning their safety and the safety of their families. Yeah, because the shooting that happened in Atlanta is going to make you afraid in Tampa. Even though the shooting that happened in Atlanta was about sex addiction, straight from the shooter's mouth. I read you guys a quote the other day. Episode 103, right? 103, 104. God damn it. 104. Look at the title. Uh, Violence against Asian Americans in this country is not new. It's existed since the Chinese came and built the railroads across this country. Oh, but we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. We don't talk about slavery of Chinese people, stuff like that, or the mistreatment of Chinese workers. We don't talk about that. We only talk about black people, slavery, 400 years of oppression. No one else matters. That's what we talk about. Irish people, we don't talk about it either. None of that matters. In fact, Irish slavery in America is apparently an urban legend. It's a myth. That doesn't count. None of that matters. It said Debbie Seans Crockett, a local attorney. She's also a Korean American trying to speak up for her community. Actually, sound like somebody running for local office. Hey, that's just me. That's just my opinion. Uh, should I even say that about someone I don't know? Probably not, but I'm throwing it out there. I'm throwing it out there because then again, she's that's whatever, man. You're reaching. You're reaching. You know you're reaching. They're talking about the rise in Asian Americans. So you're reaching, man. There's a lot of people that profit off of race. Race. There's a lot of people that profit off of race. No matter which side of the political aisle, whatever they want to be on, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people that profit off race. That's something I didn't like with every year with presidents or candidates, no matter who they are, they always got to bring up race. And the thing is, to me, they're too scared to say the otherwise because they have to appeal to people. And they know they have to appeal to people, but they're too scared. They know that'll get them votes lost, and they know that could get a twist in the media. But to me, that's don't be scared about it. Say what you want to say. It says particularly in the like Trump was talking about, oh, I did this for the black community. My my thought was always, the hell is the black community? That's dumb. I don't understand that. What are you talking about? But I also understood that people, black people themselves, were like, oh yeah, see this, that, he is doing this over the black community. And the same thing happens with Democrats. Oh look, yeah, they are helping out the black community. Like y'all allow yourselves to be pandered to every year. You think I vote for Trump because he was doing something for the black community? Fuck no. Fuck no. I already talked about why. Various reasons, because he was saying the things I was already saying, the corruption and stuff like that, elections and stuff like that, stuff I already knew for decades or years. Peace agreements in the Middle East, like anybody go in there and do it. You just gotta have the balls to go in there and do it. That's it. That's it. They don't make him that smart or highly intelligent. He can be, he cannot be, wherever the case may be, but you gotta have the balls to say, hey, I care enough about, I don't know, America. And like I said, it was in his best interest to care about America because majority of his real estate business and stuff like that are in America. So, if anything, self-interest is involved. America first, because hell, that helps him out. That's fine with me, because that helps me out as well. Clearly, the majority of my content goes to people in America. Therefore, I'm going to talk about things that are in the best interest of Americans, because this is where I live at. I'm the most patriotic, non-patriotic person ever, probably. Like, I would not say I'm patriotic, but a lot of things I say, people will identify and agree and say that people, yeah, identify as it being patriotism. I'm just like, hey, this is where I live at. Whatever. I ain't say I care about the government. I say dismantle the government, or at least at the best, have it at its most smallest, minimalist amount. Let's see. Like I always go on a little tangent. Rant, rant. I don't think tangent is a good word for it. This is particularly in the larger cities where there are more Asian Americans. Yes, I think the sentiment is concern and anger. How? Did you talk to people? Did she talk? She's in Tampa. Did she talk to people in Orlando? She talked to people in Miami. She talked to people in Tallahassee, Sarasota, the largest cities in Florida, Panama. Says many Asian Americans are concerned for their safety and angry because over the past year there were 122 incidents of anti-Asian American hate crimes. Never, you never heard about this shit till now. An increase of about 150% over the previous year. You see how they did that? An increase over 150% over the previous year. Even though you have a 0.00061% chance of it happening to you as an Asian American. But don't worry, it's been an increase over 150%. And guess what? What labels something a hate crime? Because whatever happened in the Atlanta shooting, because Asians were killed, all of a sudden now it goes under the FBI's category listing it as a hate crime, even though hate age of racism has nothing to do with the guys talking about being a sex addict, has nothing to do with anything else. Has nothing to do with anything else. And all of a sudden now it's a hate crime. So you can't even trust the numbers because who classifies anything as a hate crime? Unless someone comes out and says, I hate these Asian people or Asian looking people, whatever. I hate them. And that's why I killed them. How can you classify it as a hate crime? I think South Park did an episode a long time ago. I was like, what's a hate crime? Obviously, if you do something to a crime against a person such as murder, you probably hate them. So isn't every crime against murder or killing and stuff like that? Isn't every crime like that a hate crime? Doesn't seem like you like him too much when you decide to kill him, right? Doesn't seem like you cared about him either. Oh, it's so stupid. It says you have the cool factor because Korean K-pop, K-dramas, all that is super popular right now, and anime. And then you combine that with what's going on in our country where Asian Americans, and in particular in Georgia, some of these women were Korean Americans have been targeted. There's a disconnect there. It says Scenes Crockett. So they found one person to say this though. Because one person is Korean American descent, ethnicity, whatever, then they're considered a leader. But once again, this person probably is not saying, "Hey, I advocate as being a leader" and stuff like that. But then again, this person allowed themselves to be. They open themselves up to this type of rhetoric, so it makes you wonder too. Especially an attorney, they have to know. Like this person has to know how it will be reflected. At least have an idea. It says the shooter reportedly told investigators the shootings were not racially motivated, though two of the sites where the shooting took place were 30 miles apart. Shootings were not racially motivated. Shooter told them. Not racially motivated. You can say, oh, well, it's not racially motivated. That way I don't have to uh, suffer a worse penalty because of a hate crime. He's killed people. He's getting life. If not, an electric chair. Like, or a death penalty. Like, that's it. His life is over with. Like, it doesn't matter what. So it doesn't even matter what his motives are. His life is over with. Those people's lives are over with. So from his standpoint, wherever if he says not racially motivated, then it's not racially motivated because why would he say something differently? Now he already admitted to it. I think he admitted to it. Shit, the way they act like it's a done deal with no investigation. How did catch him so quickly? You can't figure out. The FBI needs help to point out the pipe bomb suspect and then the people and so called the January 6th insurrection riot bullshit. The FBI needs our help to identify those people and find them. But meanwhile, local authorities can find this guy within like a couple hours. But I guess they caught him on camera because after the first shooting, no one noticed, and then the second shooting, maybe they caught on to who the person was, and then the third shooting, they still didn't notice. And then I guess he probably just said, "Well, fuck it, I did these three, I'm good. I'm a sex addict. I'm gonna go shoot these. I'm gonna go kill these women. Why? Because they didn't have sex with me, or I thought I went to maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was like, man, I went to the massage parlors to get sex, and then they didn't give me sex, so I got mad and killed them. Huh? It's a sex addict. You can't be a necrophiliac. Have sex with dead bodies? No, nope. That's too much of a stretch. Too much of a stretch or reach of imagination. It says these events of violence towards Asian Americans have instilled a sense of anxiety, especially among older Asian Americans. She says, I see, you're one person. What makes you think you can speak for a whole bunch of 20 million people? The same thing with so-called black leaders, so that all these black celebrities get on. Oh, we're afraid of our lives, or this is happening to us, and I have friends and family members say the same shit. I'm just like, you speak for yourself, right? You speak for yourself. Don't speak for me. I'm like, oh man, we black people, we gotta wear. No, 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 no. You, not me. Me, the individual, supersedes all you motherfuckers. Understand that. Understand that. Don't group me in with the rest of y'all. I don't know you. You don't know me. Don't say we in a black community. Oh, no black community over here in this house. It's me. We have names. That's who we are. Don't group me in with the rest of y'all. Because when you allow yourself to be grouped in, this is the shit that happens. You get one person that a media outlet says is the leader of the community, and next thing you know, this one person is speaking for you, saying that you have anxiety and you're afraid. So if you're Asian American, you're allowing Sinise Crockett to speak for you because you identify as an Asian American instead of identifying as yourself first. Now you can say, hey, I'm an American because this is where I live, but that gives you a description of my physical location. You can say I'm a Floridian, right? You say I'm a resident of Polk County. I'm a resident of Lakeland. You can say all these different things. I'm getting a lot of personal information, right? PII, personally identifiable information. You guys can find me easily, huh? That's crazy, right? It's crazy we got Second Amendment laws too. In fact, that's not a law. That's my right. That's a human being. Hell, my cat has a right to defend herself. You get in her face, she don't like that shit, she scratched the fuck out of you. Guess what? You made that life choice. Second Amendment law. Ain't no Second Amendment law, nothing. My right to defend myself. U.S. government got bombs. Why can't I have? Man. And I keep saying, I wonder why I don't get a stimulus check. But what? I wouldn't give me one either if I was the government. I'm like, hey, nah. We push him off to the side. We watching this guy. He's saying a lot of shit. You want to talk his shit about us? Bet he ain't getting no fucking money. Put this guy off to the side. He ain't getting shit from us. I don't blame him. To be honest, I don't even blame him. If that's the case, I don't even blame him. I mean, it is what it is. It's a fucked up transaction, is what it is. But it is what it is. But yeah, man, to allow this one person to speak for other people, it kills me sometimes where I hear people be like, oh yeah, this so-and-so is speaking for us. They're our voice. Our celebrities get out there and be like, yeah, I have a platform now and I got to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. Whoa. I can always speak for myself. Whether one person hears me or a billion people hear me, doesn't matter. I can still speak for myself. I don't need you to speak for myself. If I allow you to speak for myself, then I allow you to put words into my mouth. I allow myself, I give up my own individuality because I allow you to speak for me. You don't speak for me. I tell my kids all the time, speak up for yourself. You got something to say, you don't like what I'm doing? Speak up, stand up for yourself. Obviously do it in a respectable manner, but stand up for yourself. Don't let me just intimidate you. Don't let me just talk for you. Oh, go somewhere to rest. Say we go to a restaurant and stuff. Like, oh, what do you guys want? I don't say we want. Hey, what do y'all want? I don't know. Well, you need to make sure you read this menu and figure it out because I'm not making the choice for you. You figure that shit out. Independence, individuality. Why is it not taught? Right? Why is it not taught? Why is the media and government and celebrities, everybody wants to push this narrative of someone else thinks for you, someone else talk for you. No. This is where we get in trouble at. It's hard to radicalize people when they don't identify themselves with a group. Right? You want to know how your hate groups come about? Because they allow themselves to be involved in a group and let others speak for themselves. Instead of having their own cojones, instead of having their own nutsack, they're being their own selves, right? Picking up their vaginas, holding on, say, I am woman. Picking up their testicles, holding them up, saying, I am man. Saying, I am me. I'll speak for myself. I speak for myself. Even talk about transgender community, that gets on my nerves too. I'm like, transgender community, like, no, bro. This is whoever's going through a transition, wherever they want to call themselves, wherever they're trying to do, that's on them and their own individual life. That is their life choice. Don't group these people together. All we should be talking about is, hey, tolerance. You do what you do. I don't agree with it, but whatever. It's not my choice. But I'm gonna make sure you respect me and I respect you in this public forum, in this public setting, out in society, out at work, out at school. Because in our personal relationship, we ain't gotta be friends. But when we're at work and you need a job, I don't care what you want to transition as, I don't care what you want to look like and stuff like that. All right, cool. Can you do the job that you're doing? And don't be a distraction. And you know what I'm talking about. Because when we talk about distraction, you're talking about attire. Like, why can't I wear this? Why can't I wear that? Well, if this company deems what you're wearing as a distraction based on the type of work that they're doing, all right then, go work somewhere else. So another company who is accepting of that, in the sense of a type of attire or something like that. I'm saying, like, if a male wants to wear a dress, and that may rub some other people the wrong way, well, I'll be like, whatever. I'm still gonna hire him because this person can do the job. You can't. In fact, why are you here? In fact, you're fired. Bye. This person has the credentials and they worked their ass off the past couple months they've been here, and you ain't showing shit. Get out my fucking office. Get out my business. You're fired. I don't care what the fuck this person is looking like or dressing like. Are they doing the job? Especially when you're talking about an office setting where ain't nobody gonna fucking see you anyways. Like, but it's the same person that I don't even understand why people wear suits. Why wear a suit? Why wear a suit when no one sees you all day? But once again, your business, you want to have business attire, stuff like that. I understand. I get it. Don't worry, I'll find a job where I ain't gotta wear a business suit or nothing. I guess I'll find a job where I don't know. All I gotta do is wear a uniform every day. That's one of the big benefits of being in the military. My work attire is already picked out for me. I know I'm wearing day in and day out the same goddamn uniform. Wearing the same uniform, year in, year out. It's funny because I talk about being an individual, but I have no problem wearing a uniform, right? Because me, the individual, goes beyond my clothing. Me, the individual, is every time I open up my mouth. Me, the individual, is in all the imperfections in my face, in my teeth, my jawline, my eyes. One eye is more open than the other. My ears, one ear is higher than the other. My shoulder, one shoulder is higher than the other. All the imperfection that is me is my individuality. That is who I am. That is me. So even in a uniform, I still know that I am me because I am confident in myself that I am who I am. Me, the individual. Oh my God. And we're talking about we, then it's we, the human species. That's it. That's it. It's me, and then it's we. It's you, and then it's us. But guess what? You, the individual, comes first. Because you're going to look out for yourself, I'm going to look out for myself. And I'm going to respect you because I respect myself. I'm tired of all this community shit. I can kind of see what you're talking about as far as like maybe video games or something like that where you're superficial and the community is literally made up. Like, okay, okay, I'm an Xbox player. We're part of this community, or uh, was I'm a Madden player. I'm a 2K player, part of this community. Okay, because you can jump in and out of that community, and because when you talk about that, you're not talking about anything other than you playing that game. That's it. Anything other than you playing that game. When you're talking about Asian community, a transgender community, you're talking about a bunch of individuals who what share the same physical body features. When you're talking about Asian community, something like that, like, but I don't even fucking know how to even lump that together. Cause you're not even talking about skin tone. You're not. You notice that no matter where you're at, you near the equator, you're darker. You're further away from the equator, you're lighter. You know, sun exposure, crazy concepts yet again. But when you talk about all these uh, transgender community, what? Because you decide to be a transgender, now you're part of the community of other transgender, even though you don't know these people, because you guys all follow the same ideology, philosophy, or something like that. Like, what does that? How does that even make sense? You transitioning is based on your own individual choice. That's your choice to make, and I respect that choice. I don't agree with it, but I respect that choice. and I respect you and care about you as a human being because I care about myself as a human being. I had a troop actually ended up being my friend one time. He he was a little rough around the edges. He had a little, he had authority issue, which I ain't didn't bother me at all. Didn't bother me at all because I understand. But once again, it's part of being a team as well. Like, hey, you're just new here, and that's why. And some people, other people on the shift were complaining and saying he's not working hard enough and all that stuff. I'm like, well, I don't really see that. I don't know what y'all talking about. It works around me. Like, no, this and that, and that. And I know it's a little few things stuff, but I went and sat him down. I sat him down outside. I talked to him. I looked him dead in the eyes. I was like, look, man, I don't really like you. He just looked at me like, I know he probably pissed off. He probably wanted to punch me. I don't blame him. I was like, look, man, I don't like you. But you have family, and I know they like you, and they care about you. So I care about you. And I said, I don't really like your work ethic. And he's like, man, I feel like I work good. I was like, that's the problem right there. You feel like you work good, but you don't. You can, but sometimes you're off messing around. You're doing stuff. You're not on time with far as getting your part of the meal out, cooking your item that you're supposed to be cooking and stuff. But you'll get there. But I don't like you, but I do care about you because someone cares about you and someone respects you. So I do, and we became friends. Uh, you know the funny part about that? Majority of my friendships come from me saying I don't like them. I'm like, look, man, I don't like you. They're like, huh? But I don't know, something about you, bro. I don't like you. I get a feeling about you. I don't like you. Then we becoming friends. A lot of my close friendships have nothing to do with interests. Has nothing to do with same personality type per se. It has nothing to do with us liking the same thing. It's about a core. It's about the core values. It's about who we are as an individual because I recognize them as an individual. It's about loyalty. It's about, hey, I like that you was there for me that one time. Don't worry, I'll be there for you. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if we're on the same page. Doesn't matter if we agree. Doesn't matter if I even like you right now. I care about you though. And my loyalty runs deep. I don't know. It's a simple concept to me. It's not even that stretch of imagination. It's like, yeah, it makes sense. It don't have to be nothing serious. You can be like, hey, you stuck up for me. Or actually, for me, a lot of my close friendships come from because, well, they sat and listened to me. I was like, hey, thank you for listening to me. I know I say some things that people might think are crazy, that might seem outrageous, but I'm just being honest. These are my own personal thoughts. But people can respect that. You can respect that. As you listen to me, you don't agree with everything I say, but you respect that the fact, it's coming from an honest standpoint. Like, hey, at least, hey, that's what that man says, what he thinks. Like, you can't knock him for it. It's that simple. Why can't people be like that? Is it really that hard? I don't know. I don't know. You know what's even worse? I forgot what the whole fucking point of me saying that. I forgot completely where I was going with that whole story. Why I'm telling you guys that. I don't even remember. I think it was something about. Okay, so yeah, I was telling him I didn't like him and stuff because his work ethic and stuff. But you sit someone down and stuff, you talk to him or whatever. You can care about someone and not necessarily agree with everything that they say because you pay attention to the individual. And I don't even know if that was the point I was trying to make, but god damn it, it's the point I'm making now. So it's all that matters. I just had to find a reason why I said that story and tie it into the rest of the shit I was talking about. But yeah, man, you can, like I said, you can have someone. I don't work with people that were. Have I worked with people that changed? I'm sure I have. One sticks out of my mind. It was a classmate, but I've always been around gay people since I was a kid. Like when I say around, like literally friends of friends, family members, been around gay people, been around interracial, all the different races, all the stuff, ever since I was a kid. And my whole thought was, I don't give a shit what you are and what you claiming that I'm paying attention to you, the individual. How do you treat me? How do I treat you? We can have complete disagreements. We can have completely different viewpoints, all that stuff. But hey, I could be friends with a Nazi member. And you're like, well, how can you do that? They're insane. They hate people. I'm like, hey, they're like, oh man, he hates black people. You don't hate me. You're like, yeah, but he hates black people. Doesn't hate me. I don't know what to tell you. I go and tell you my own personal experience. So I get what he's saying. This person is saying some wild, messed up stuff, like talking about this. this and that, or I hate niggers, or black people, or this and that. But he's friends with you. Yeah, crazy. Why? Crazy, right? Like he's friends with me, and me and this person have a conversation. So I don't know what to tell you, because that's why I can only give you my own personal perspective based on my own personal experiences. Right? That's it. That's all I can, and I pay attention to the individual because I pay attention to the individuality in myself. You see that? You are what you want to see in the world. The reality that you perceive around you is based on the reality that you created within yourself. Ooh, mind blown, bitch. Boom, blown, wide open. Oh my God, so insane. All right, let me go on to the last topic. I done went all over the place, man. With no transition yet again, we're going to the next topic. This is from the New York Post. It says Biden says tax increases are coming for anyone making over $400,000. So for majority of us, we're like, who gives a fuck? My thing is, it starts somewhere and it'll end somewhere else. And lo and behold, this doesn't end well for all of us. Because if they will increase taxes in one instance, doesn't mean they will increase taxes in another instance. Can I play this clip? I stay with copyright claims, but fuck you, YouTube. There's no monetization anyway. We know you're not monetized, but it's still a copyright claim. Meaning we know at some point in time this video probably will become monetized. But just in case it does, we're going to throw the copyright claim on it. Because God forbid you play the whole minute. And I think copyright is usually about, you can play a good 10 seconds of a song, something like that. But I learned that in radio school, like, let's not talk about what date that was. But I learned that in radio school some years ago. No, it was 2006, 2005. Oh, damn, 2005 when I went to radio school. But yeah, I remember hearing that and stuff. I'm like, okay. I thought if you talk every little while, they won't slap a copyright claim. Man, they slapped a copyright claim. I think it was Warner's Media Group because of the Hamilton commercial, the ad with the doctors. I said commercial. That's what it seems like, right? It wasn't a music video. That shit was atrocious. But I got copyright claims for that, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on. You can still view it in America. You couldn't view it in Iran, Cuba, which I don't think anybody in Iran or Cuba is listening to my content. I get people from North America, South America, Europe. I don't get nobody from Africa. That's very interesting now I think about it. Nobody from Africa, Australia, Asia, even though Europe and Asia are the same continent, but whatever. And yeah, so I don't get nothing from Africa. Think about it. I don't get no listeners from there. That's kind of odd now. It's kind of odd now. I don't get no listeners from Africa. I mean, why? Why not? Whatever. Anyway, whatever. But yeah, so copyright claims, stuff like that. So I'm still gonna play this shit. Fuck it. Oh my God, what a genius. What a genius. It'll help if I, unmute the fucking video, right? That way you guys can hear it. Because that makes way too much sense. What a genius.
$400,000 will see a small to a significant tax.
I'm sorry, it looks fake. That looks fake. It looks like he's not really sitting there. It looks like he's not really sitting there. I'm sorry. I don't care. I said this the other day. It still looks fake. This is the same interview from the other day as well.
Increase. If you make less than $400,000, you won't see one single penny in additional federal tax.
It says, in a revealing interview on Good Morning America, President Joe Biden admitted that he would reverse Trump-era tax cuts. Raising the federal tax rate from 37% to 39.6% for those who make over $400,000. The proposal, consistent with his 2020 campaign, is unlikely to attract Republican supporters. President Biden pointed out that it would be the same top tax rate as under former President George W. Bush. Doesn't matter. I guess it matters to people, Republican, Democrat, fuck all that. Doesn't matter, bro. It's a bad idea because George Bush, Clinton, Obama, all the same people, man. They're all the same people. That Trump don't get thrown in with the former president at all. They just act like he doesn't exist. I mean, We will be careful. They'll write him. They'll try their best to just write him out of history like he never was. I mean, you think history is written by the victor? Is history written by the villain? Because if history isn't, if you're not gonna write history in its absolute factual manner, then it can't be trusted. Let's see. The bump would raise $230 billion in revenue. Not, and then guess what that revenue is gonna go to? Not paying off the debt. It's not gonna go to the debt. It's gonna go right into the government, right into one of these agencies, something like that. It's not gonna pay off no debt, none of that stuff. Like, are you serious? You know what I'm saying? Anyone making over $400,000 will see, quote unquote, a small to significant tax increase. The fuck? So I'm fucked. So I'm fucked. And it's funny because you're penalizing people for making too much money. That doesn't go against capitalism at all. That doesn't go against capitalism. That doesn't go against American ideology, philosophy, and none of that stuff at all. Speaking of ABC's Good Morning America, the commander-in-chief made the mission, blah, blah. They said, yes, anybody making more than $400,000 will see a small to significant tax increase. If you make less than $400,000, you won't see one single penny in additional federal tax. That was a direct quote. That's a direct quote. He's lying. He's lying. He's lying. And he's lying. He's lying. Because at some point, you're going to have to, all the stuff they're trying to do, you're going to have to tax people. And you can't just tax the wealthiest because guess what? Guess what they're going to do? One, they're going to start hiding their money even more. Two, they're going to fucking go somewhere else where the tax is less. Get some dual citizenship. Maybe give up their citizenship. I don't know. I know I would. I'd be looking into some other things. Oh, you're going to what? Remember 50 Cent came out, did an episode about that on the podcast as well. Like 50 Cent came out, it's like, no. You're not about to tax me. I ain't voting for Biden. And then everybody got mad, and Chelsea Handler was like, no, had to remind 50 Cent that he's black and he can't vote for Trump, because he's black, and the most racist fucking thing you can think of. But don't worry, that's not racism when you're coming from the so-called left or Democrats, liberals, whatever. The most backward ass insult you can imagine. But don't worry. Yeah, I bet he probably still didn't vote for Biden. Why would you, bro? Why would you go against your own self-interest? What, to help everyone else out? How about that? I guess we're going to see, too, a lot more donations, a lot more foundations pop up. I'll do whatever. If I'm making over $400,000, I'm doing everything I can to not have to pay more taxes. Hell no, I'm not giving the government my money. I'll spend it all over the place, too. Just buy dumb shit. I heard 50 Cent say that one time as well in the interview. It was like, why you got a big home and stuff and everything? He's like, you got to, man. If not, the government will take your money. So I'd rather just at least spend it. I know where it's going as opposed to the government taking it. Hey, I can't knock nobody for that. This is insane. It's talking about a tax increase. And everybody's going to be like, oh, yeah, that's right. Tax is rich. All right. But what happens? Isn't the goal for you to become rich yourself? And all of a sudden you get into that class or category and you're like, oh shit, whoa, you ain't finna take my money. How about we cut off on government spending, then we don't have to worry about taxes? That'd be a good idea. Because where's the money go to? I told you guys, the money. I showed you what the COVID-19 relief package does. It's going overseas. How come that money can't be here for schools and stuff or federal federal health places and stuff like that? I don't know anything. Infrastructure, whatever makes people feel good to have socialism and communism, something, anything. I don't know, whatever. Why can't we have that? Nah, nobody wants to have that though. They just want to have taxes for the rich and not for the poor. And you really think the rich gonna sit back and let themselves be taxed like that? Fuck no. Not if they're smart. They're gonna find a way to get rid of their money. Me personally, I'll put in Bitcoin or something, XRP. I'll put in some type of cryptocurrency and let it sit there. Because I show you guys you can transact in cryptocurrency. I do it often now. You can do it. So why would I sit here and have my money in the bank account and stuff like that, and my income be taxed? I'm gonna hide that stuff and show that I make less. And everybody gets mad at Trump for not paying taxes, even though he prepaid his taxes, because that's really what you should do is prepay your taxes so you don't end up owing anything. I learned that in my accounting classes. Yeah, prepay your taxes. Hell, I don't have to learn that in a class. Like, if you can see that you can prepay your taxes, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. Really, shouldn't be no tax on your income at all, anyways. But whatever. People argue, oh no, taxes are good. They pay for all this infrastructure. No, they don't. Show me the receipt. Show me the receipt. Because they don't. But go ahead and show me the receipt that it does. It says the president also still stands by his desire to up the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%. Thus, corporations will do the first thing that they will do in order to uh, be in the best interest of their employees, their stockholders, all that stuff. Move your company somewhere else where you're paying less corporate tax. All you're doing is making people find a different way around from paying taxes. That's it. We saw this play out already. You understand that? I'm not saying this because out of some hypothetical situation. We saw this play out already over the past decades. When you increase taxes on people, they find a way to get away from taxes. If you increase taxes on lower wage people, they'll find a way to get away from taxes. If you increase taxes on higher wage people, they'll find a way to get from taxes. Almost like they're trying to redistribute wealth, but guess what? They're not redistributing wealth. They're just collecting it themselves and holding on to it. Communism, the centralization of wealth. Centralization. That's not good, man. Critics of Biden tax proposals during the 2020 election cycle warned that, if successful, his efforts could lead to a decline in wages and investment income of middle class Americans. Huh. Almost like it's done by design because, you want to have communism, you want to have socialism, you got to have a separation. We got to destroy capitalism first because they view capitalism as bad. Just God forbid that you're able to rise above your situation in one generation and create a new generational wealth, or at least put your generation and the generations after you into a different income class. It's kind of hard to do when you're in communism. When everybody's sharing everything, it's kind of hard to do, right? Kind of hard to do. And like I said, I talked about resource-based economy and stuff, but that's on the aspect of no money at all. But we're not there yet. We haven't evolved to a species where we can operate with no money at all. We're not there yet. We're just not. We're just not. Because some of us would not work if they had the choice not to. And some people need incentivization. Some people need that. Even though I argue for the fact that work should be only be for things that benefit the species. So we're not talking about food, shelter, uh, water. What are we talking about, right? If we're not talking about that, what else are we talking about? Shit that we just make up because we're bored. We ain't got nothing else to do. We master survival, and now we're like, all right, what do we do next? I don't know. I'm bored. Shit. You know what? I got a job for you to do. What? Do some food and stuff? We already got enough of those people. Yeah, but how about you keep account of food? You want me to be an accountant? Or you wait, what? You want just keep track of the food and what we keep. All right. And then next thing you know, hey, what are you doing? Oh yeah, I just keep track of the food. I count and stuff and I store it up. You don't have to grow the food and none of that stuff? No, I don't have to do none of that. Because we got enough of those people, so they were trying to find people that could do something different. So I said, yeah, I'll do this. Okay. Oh, well, I guess we need some people to manage these other people who are just working because they seem to be in their own world or whatever. Nah, we need to figure this stuff out. Yeah, you just build upon this stuff. Like, you're just bored. You're trying to figure out how you can improve on modern society, even though this is not the case. This is more or less trying to figure out how can they control the rest of the human beings around them and control resources. The Democrats, meanwhile, have argued that reducing taxes for higher earners does not lead to revenue trickling down. Uh, yeah. What? Democrats, meanwhile, have argued that reducing taxes. Oh, eh, I don't understand. I don't understand trickling down revenue. Like they're supposed to give me money, so you take more money from them. All of a sudden, it's supposed to end up in my hands by some way. I don't even know how that even happens that way. I don't even know how that happens. It says the plan is widely expected to include 20% corporate income tax hike. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen signaled to CNBC last month that a tax increase could be in the cards later in the year as part of a legislative package. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're probably gonna sneak it in somewhere else. You wouldn't even realize it. It doesn't matter because they're gonna have to do it. How you gonna pay off all this stuff? And when I'm talking about stuff, I'm not talking about the funds and stuff you think they're giving us and the stimulus checks stuff like that. I'm talking about all the debt that for all these countries and everything else that they owe around the world and stuff. All the money that they're shelling out to all these other places for no reason. The World Health Organization for no reason. Oh, it's the World Health Organization. Well, guess how I can help out my nation? Maybe if I keep the money inside the country. Huh. Why would I give money outside the country if I got my own problems? You don't donate the last of your dollar, do you? Because you got kids yourself and family members yourself you have to worry about, right? You can't feed everyone else, but you can't feed yourself first. Cause how can you feed them if you can't feed yourself? That makes sense. But they say on the plane you gotta put your mask on first before you save someone else. Kind of goes without question. You probably gotta help yourself first before you're able to help someone else. Because you can't be in a position to help someone if you need help yourself. Why are we giving out money to other nations when we can't even help ourselves first? But I get it. I get it. I get it. Once again, making too much sense. That's just a narcissistic side of me saying, "Hey, I make too much sense." I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm breaking it down to the most simplistic form. But I'm just trying to break it down to a point that I can understand it. Because I'm sorry, a lot of this shit just doesn't make no sense. Doesn't make any sense. Let's go ahead and wrap up the show because I know I went on a bunch of different little rants about whatever I always do. But hey, it's entertaining. Maybe it's knowledgeable. Maybe it just makes you think a little bit differently. Or maybe you sit here laughing at me and call me stupid. That works too. Either way, you tuned in. So I appreciate it. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the hate. Appreciate it all. Appreciate everything. As always, follow me on my website, Damian Jackson 22, top right corner. You see the menu. Click on the social links and podcast links that lets you know where all my social media and how you can view or listen to the podcast. Check out my YouTube and Odyssey channel. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing a Justice League review. So after I get done, I'm gonna upload this version, this episode of the podcast, the audio and video, and then spend the rest of the day and stuff like that watching fucking the Zack Snyder cut of Justice League. Zack Snyder, the guy that shitted on to the Geeks and Gamers donation thing. I don't want to say he shitted on him, but I mean, man, that was my first thought when I saw the clip of him coming into the stream and immediately saying that he disassociates himself with Geeks and Gamers and any anti-Asian American hate. You know, believe in hate crime stuff like that. And once I got I had to get context. My first thought was like, "What? Why? Who says that? It's kind of fucked up." And then I was like, "Well, maybe give him the benefit of the doubt." Then once I got more context of it all, yep, it was what I thought it was. It was fucked up. But I mean, there's tons of. You go to Eric July, a young Ripper 5'9", he talks about it. That Star Wars girl, Anna, she talks about it. Geeks and Gamers talked about it too. How they like the way that they handled it. I don't know how I would have handled that situation. Okay, okay. I know how I would have handled it. I don't know if that's the way I would have want to. I know I would have said something because I know how I am. It's hard for me to keep my mouth shut, especially in moments like that. I probably would have said something. I probably would have said it in a respectful manner though. I don't know. I don't even know if that's the case. I'd probably be like, hey, wait, what the fuck you just say? Because, to me, I was thrown off just listening. Like, I'm like, hey, what are you talking about? Asian American hate or no anti-hate here or what? And see, put that in context, geeks and gamers, there's been a lot of slander going on saying that they're far right or alt right groups and they hate people and stuff like that. I don't even know what their political ideology are. I think maybe a couple might be certain. There's a bunch of them. They all have their own individual things that they're into. And whatever. I don't whatever. They talk about geeks and games and stuff like that. Like shit, same shit I talk about. Or I want to listen about, rather. So, but yeah, that's the whole thing. So then I'm like, damn, god damn it, Zack Snyder. Like, come on, man. You can't watch none of this mainstream stuff. Because all these people just, you can tell it was a PR statement. It clearly was a PR statement, but it wasn't bad gesture. Like, you don't say it at that time. You don't say it in that manner. And I get it. And almost in a sense, he said it just to say it. My first thought was, oh my God, you're actually on here? Are you on here independently of yourself? Or are you in association with the movie and Warner Bros., stuff like that? So when he said he has no association with geeks and gamers, even though our logo is on a donation page and stuff like, their logos on a donation page, something like that. Like, okay. I kind of get that. But, I mean, I think that also goes without question too. Like, and why are you trying to disassociate yourself from the same people that? And it makes it worse is the whole thing was about suicide awareness. They were doing a live stream and having a donation run for suicide awareness, something that Zack Snyder, his daughter, died from suicide, I believe. So that's bad. So I was like, wait a minute, they're doing this to help you. So I didn't even realize that either. That I think the money was going to him or his organization or his charity fund or something like that. That's even worse. I was like, wait a minute. So because people have this misconception that these people are hateful and they're racist and all this stuff, which is that's why I don't like these terms stuff, because they're becoming weaponized and just throwing it out there like it's nothing. Like, oh, you're racist. Oh, you're misogynistic. Oh, you're transphobic. It's like they don't even have these terms. Don't even have no real weight. One, oxymoron. They don't even make sense. You can't if you don't like trans people, you can't be transphobic because that means you have an irrational fear of them. Just because I don't like you doesn't mean I have a fear of you. And then again, people don't necessarily dislike. I want to say people, but some people are probably saying they don't necessarily dislike transgender people. They just don't agree with what they're saying. Like I say, I don't agree with it doesn't mean I don't like the person, because, well, I judge it or I focus on the individual. Now, if I don't like you and you have to be transgender, that's not my fucking problem. I still don't like you. You're white and I don't like you. Guess what? I don't like you. It's not because you're white. Because I don't like you. You're the shitty person I don't like. That's it. Oh, I don't associate you with no one else other than you, because that's all I can see. That's all I can recognize. That's all I have a perspective on. That's all that I interact with is you, the individual. But yeah. So that happened with that. But I'm definitely gonna be watching this stuff and putting up a review. I'm trying to. I'm not gonna lie, I feel kind of lazy. I don't want to sit here and put up clips and stuff like that and do a review and do a video form of it. But it depends. It depends. It depends. I also don't feel like I want to do a full audio episode of it. It depends on how I feel. It depends on what reaction I have to it as I watch it, whether it's good or bad. It just depends. But yeah, it definitely would be. If it's not up this weekend, then I'm probably gonna do a podcast on it on Monday. So just be on the lookout for that. And obviously, if you want to listen to that podcast episode, whatever, for any topic I talk about, you listen to it or you don't listen to it, whatever. But then again, even when I have the topics listed, who knows what I'm gonna talk about? I'm gonna go on some other stuff anyway. So it's almost like, hey, you never know what you're gonna hear when you listen to me. It's fun because that's exactly what I think about myself as well. Crazy, right? You guys enjoy the weekend. Even if it's not the weekend, just enjoy the day. Spend time with family, friends, loved ones. Appreciate life. Accept the good. Accept the bad. Positive mindset. Exclude the negativity. Focus on the positivity. Enjoy life. All that good shit. So until next time.